The world is going crazy everywhere right now. There's a lot going on. It's very heavy. It's just hard. And overseas, there's a lot happening. I'm sure you all know. But here, there has been a couple of news stories lately that have been crazy. And so I'm going to tell you two of them today. So let me tell you some stories of what's happening right now.
Negative K, nothing further, just city camp in the corner. We've got a code 187. Officers on the scene.
Some of my content has mention of extreme violence, sexual assault, and or other triggering content. Discretion is advised. Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel, Code 187, where I just discuss really horrific things. It's true crime, and it is very heavy. Today's video is extremely graphic, especially the first story is a lot. There is mention of some sexual assault and dismemberment. I mean, it's just really crazy and bad. So if that's not your thing, please skip, go to a different video or come back later. That's fine. But I just wanted to put it out there that this one is extremely bad. These are two cases that have happened recently. Like I said, the first one is a lot. The second one is about a child, so if that's not your thing, that's fine too. So let's dive into these two crazy cases. Now, this first one I kept seeing come up on news sites, and I was like waiting for there to be a little bit more, but I was not prepared for what I got into listening and reading about this case. So this is the horrific murder of Shad Thyrion. So our perpetrator is named Taylor Schabusiness, I think is her name. And her boyfriend spent a day together, a full day of smoking meth and very, very violent sexual intercourse. As her and her boyfriend were engaging in sex, Taylor choked our male victim. She says she didn't mean to kill him, but she enjoyed choking him. So she kept going. She allegedly choked him until he turned blue and had blood coming out of his mouth. And then she still kept choking him. So already Taylor is very, very violent. And this just keeps getting worse and worse. So this part, I'm sorry, it's a lot, but she then raped this man's dead body with a dildo, did other things, and then went to the kitchen and got a shredded bread knife. And she began dismembering his corpse. Now, I read that and I'm like, how crazy, bloody, insane does this crime scene have to be? Because dismembering a body is not easy. We have a lot of bones in our body. We have thick pieces. And if you are a doctor or you're experienced in dismembering animals or humans, which is awful, you know that there has to be certain joints that you cut off. If you are not experienced at this and you're using a serrated knife, it's just going to be a mess. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be horrific. I don't know what she was doing here. I don't know her thought process. I mean, she's kind of using meth as an excuse, but this is pretty crazy. So Schabusiness said that the police were going to have fun trying to find all of the organs that she dismembered from the body. The victim's mother, who was in the house during the whole thing, heard a door slam and then a car drive away in the middle of the night. She then spotted dry blood on a nearby mattress. She then found a bucket in the basement, and in this bucket was her son's severed head. Officers responded to the home after 3 a.m. February 23rd for a call about a suspicious death. Police say that they found Taylor at her home, where she had dried blood all over her clothing. In her van, they also located a crock pot box containing what they're thinking as additional human body parts, including legs. Back at the victim's mother's house, police recovered the head and the male organ in a bucket. In a separate storage tote, they found an upper torso. They also recovered many knives. She allegedly told officers where they could find the knives, that they were in a black bag, along with some additional body parts in the basement. Now, Taylor is married and a new mother. She is not married to this man. She is married to another man. And she also has been described by people as being obsessed with the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, as you all know, being crime people, that Jeffrey Dahmer did similar things to his victims as well. And they were people that he loved. So I think she is saying that there is different motive for this than rage. Taylor is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault. She is being held in Brown County Jail, where her bond is set at $2 million in cash. Now, let's talk about our victim. He is 24-year-old Shad Thyrion, whose family described Taylor as being a monster. They're very upset how this all went down, which I don't blame them. They stated, "Our family has suffered an unimaginable tragic loss. We humbly ask for prayers, lots of prayers, during this incredibly difficult time." There is a GoFundMe set up by the family, and I will put the link in the description box below if you want to help out that family and donate. This case, I know that she is trying to claim that the meth was the cause of this, but this is a very violent crime, and there are a lot of people addicted to meth that don't go to this length. I am waiting for more to come out on this. I'm sure I will have updates, but I feel so badly for Shad's family, especially his mother finding his severed head. This is a case that is very, very haunting and a lot. So, yeah, that happened. I will also put my resources where I got all of this in the description box below for both cases. That way you can go and research on your own or look at different things about these crimes. Now, our next case is very twisty-turvy and very confusing for a lot of people. So let's just dive in. So on February 22nd, about 8:40 a.m., a 7-year-old girl handed her elementary school teacher a collection of notes from her mother. These notes all said that they were basically being held against their will in their home. Officials did the absolute right thing. They notified the authorities right away. The authorities watched the house, and they followed the people that lived in the house, and they worked to obtain some search warrants to go in and see that everything was okay. While they waited, a man and the girl's alleged mother exited their home and drove away. Police pulled them over for a traffic violation. Upon this, the mother got to tell her story, and it is a crazy one. The mother was once married to Eli Dominguez, who died from pneumonia in January 2021. The mother's lawyer had stated that she said she could not have found a better husband. Together, they had 2 children, and they were really happy. After Eli's unexpected death, the mom, his widow, found herself really struggling with bills and raising the 2 children and just grief. So a man named Brandon Toslin, who was friends with Eli, swooped in to be the hero and began helping her through her grief. By March, she and her children moved into his house. The woman's family members grew concerned when Brandon was disrespectful to them at a family gathering. He methodically and systematically just started exercising more and more control over her, is what the family said. She spent months and months watching the escalating behavior of Brandon. The domestic assaults and controlling behavior was getting more and more intense. He allegedly held her captive inside his 2-story, 3-bedroom home. He put locks on all of the bedroom doorknobs, which required a key to open, which only he held. He installed motion sensors inside the home. He watched her while she used the restroom, and whenever she rode in the car with him, she says she was always handcuffed. So what we see here is there's just this escalating behavior of more domestic violence growing and growing. And she kind of was hard to get a hold of from her family, and she was just having a really hard time getting away from this situation. She was forced to clean the house and cook meals. She was tied up inside her room, sometimes with duct tape. Brandon took control over her phone and allegedly sent text berating her family and also quitting her job. Now, people have turned to social media to kind of analyze how much this widow knew and how much she didn't know and what was going on. People have really claimed that she was active on social media and she was posting pictures of them being happy together. But it could have been him. We don't know that she was posting those pictures. So her being active doesn't necessarily mean that she was not going through this. Now, after December 11th, when the mother could no longer see her 4-year-old son, Mason, she hadn't seen or heard from him since that December 11th. She suspected that he might be dead, and she needed to formulate a plan to get out. It was in the car, his car, Brandon's car, that she discovered a pack of sticky notes and a pen. Whenever she could, she'd write a few words and then hide the notes until she could write again. Once she finished, she tucked the notes inside her clothes and eventually hid them under the mattress. Some of the notes said, "Help, I'm being held captive, call my mom, he has a gun, be careful." These were the things that she was writing. She thought of situations. What if I gave a note to the mailman or the pizza man or just a stranger? She was trying to survive months upon months of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. She formulated a plan to help her daughter and herself escape. She observed that Brandon had two places that he would not search: between the mattress and her daughter's socks. So on February 20th, for reasons unknown, Brandon allowed the girl to sleep with her mother. After Brandon was in custody and the mother-daughter were safe, the police searched the residence. So after that note was given to the teacher, the mother and the daughter got out completely safe. But, however, they searched the residence for her 4-year-old son, and unfortunately, they found his remains inside the freezer in the garage. This was 4-year-old Mason Dominguez. Mason was so bright and loved to learn. At the age of 3, he had known all of his letters and his numbers. He enjoyed swimming at his grandma's house, and his family said that he was just ready to jump in the pool whenever and loved it. So Brandon appeared in front of a judge where he was charged with 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping and 1 count of open murder, which is a general allegation of homicide in Nevada, where all of this happened. He remains in Clark County Jail without bail. The mother and the daughter are planning funeral arrangements for Mason with assistance from GoFundMe. We will forever remember this sweet and precious little boy and cherish all these wonderful memories that we have of him. Our family knows that Mason is in heaven with his daddy, dancing and playing forever. These are quotes about Mason that I found on the GoFundMe page, as well as in news reports. Those will be quoted and put below if you want to go check them out. So the mother and the daughter continue to heal from this. If you suspect any domestic violence happening within your relationship or within your friends, family, anything, don't hesitate to call the Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. They also have a website. All calls are toll-free and completely confidential, and the hotline is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages. Please reach out if you are in need of help, but do so safely. If you think you are being monitored on your computer or your phone, try to reach out, as this mom did, to someone else or somewhere else that you can get help or access a computer or a telephone. Domestic violence resources are extremely important. I worked as an advocate for domestic violence, as I mentioned before in one of my videos. It's hard. It is a very hard thing to get out of. This is escalating behavior that we do see before you have like a family annihilation case. And that's probably what this was going to turn into. I will always believe the victim in a domestic violence case. However, there are a lot of people questioning the mother and how she let her 4-year-old son be killed by this man. I've seen a lot of people saying, I would rather be killed than have my kids killed, which to a certain extent, like, I completely understand that. Like, but when you have interpersonal relationship violence, these people are master manipulators. They are doing this not just overnight. She may not have known or seen her son get killed. And she did say that she had wondered if he was gone, but by then she couldn't save him. The only people she could save was her and her daughter. So that's when she started formulating this plan. I've seen a lot of hate for her online, like I said, analyzing her every movement, but if I've said it before, I will say it again. We have to believe victims of violence. There's a court case, so we'll see what happens if he confesses. Yeah. Domestic violence is a very, very tough thing to go through. Once you're in it, it seems like you cannot get out. But you can. There are resources. Just do it safely. I believe that this mother just had no other way. And it's a tragic loss, losing this 4-year-old. And the mother and the daughter, I don't name. I'm sure you could find it online, but I just don't want to drag them into more than what they're already going through. But my thoughts go out to Mason's family. Abusers are very, very scary, and only get out if you believe you are safe doing so. It's been proven that the scariest time for a victim is when they're going to leave, because that abuser thinks there's nothing left. It's either her or me or both of us. And there's been cases where they will take out both. They will take out you. They don't care. Please reach out to someone. Please do all that you can. Run away. Do what you need to do to save yourself and your family if you have children. So, like I said, the resources will be below. I will put the GoFundMe for both cases in the description box below. Please tell me what you think, but be respectful of these victims. This is very new. These crimes happened at the end of last month, and so that was only a week ago, and these cases are still very fresh, and their families are hurting really bad. So be respectful of that, but please tell me what you think. Tell me if there's any other resources you know. Tell me some other new cases that are out. We have started a Facebook group for Code 187. That's a discussion group. So you are able to post, you are able to interact with me on there, and also Joe, who will be on the podcast with me. We are moderators. We will be involved in that Facebook group. We want to know what you guys are thinking. If you have case suggestions, I try to post new stuff that I can't fully do a video on, as well as all of our videos and our podcast will be on there too. So I, of course, will put a trailer for the podcast here. I'm working on new trailers. I'm working on new promos. So those will be coming. You guys, this podcast is awesome, and I am so thankful that I get to do it. I'm thankful for you guys, my growing group of people that are there every week when I post and who really care about these victims. So I'll stop babbling. Thank you guys for listening to both of these stories, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. guys, I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like any of the content for Code 187, please click that subscribe button, that like button, that share button. Help us out, help us grow. You can find us on your favorite podcast platforms. Yeah, check us out on there. Give us some ratings. Tell us what you think. We're also across every social media on Code 187. So we're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's it. And of course, YouTube. So please, please, please subscribe if you like our content and spread the word. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.